Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to do a viewer request. This is a recipe that has been requested, I don't know, dozens of times over the last little while. People keep asking for it, so I thought I'd make one and see what the fuss was all about. This is a hot milk cake. So I did a bunch of research about hot milk cake recipes and came to the conclusion that they're all pretty much the same. They don't vary too much from recipe to recipe in the ingredient list. There's a little bit of variation in the amounts, but that's kind of to be expected. Not every recipe is exactly the same. There are minor differences, but they all sort of keep to a very similar pattern. So I have 4 eggs. I'm going to put this on the stand mixer and toss in the sugar and set this to mixing. So a hot milk cake needs hot milk. So I'm going to warm this milk up. And once it's almost to the boiling point, I'm going to add this butter and melt it in. While the eggs are beating and the milk is heating, I'm going to put some baking powder and salt into the flour and just give that a bit of a stir. Okay, all of the recipes were adamant that you really beat these eggs and the sugar together until it's light, frothy, and this looks like it's almost there, but I'm going to let it keep going a little bit longer because I think I could err on the side of letting it go too long. Meanwhile, the milk is coming up to temperature, so I'm going to take the butter and I'm going to put it in and just let the butter melt into the milk. Okay, I think we are ready to go. So I'm just going to turn the mixer down and I'm going to slowly spoon the flour mixture in. And we just want to get this to the point where the flour is mixed in. To the milk, I'm going to mix in just a little bit of vanilla. And then we're slowly going to pour this mixture in with the batter. And once it's all mixed, we pour it into a greased cake pan. And this is a really thin batter. And into the oven. So the cake is out of the oven and cooling. And while that cools down, I thought I would make a caramel sauce to pour on top. So in this pot, I'm going to put cane sugar, or just regular white table sugar. And I'm going to put that on kind of a medium-low heat. Now, to that, I'm going to add some corn syrup. And the reason for the corn syrup is that corn syrup is an invert sugar. So I only need about a tablespoon of that. Now, an invert sugar will keep this from crystallizing as it melts and caramelizes. And I'm one of those people who stirs. I'm also one of those people that doesn't put water in because you just end up having to wait for the water to evaporate. So I just start out with sugar and a little bit of corn syrup. Now the other ingredients are whipping cream and butter and a little bit of salt at the end. So this starts out really slow and then all of a sudden it just takes off. So you want to watch it carefully. And when you reach a point where you think it's getting too hot or it might be burning or it starts to smoke, pull it off the heat. Just lift the pot off. Don't worry about fussing with the controls. Take the pot away from the heat and just keep stirring it. And if you think it needs a little bit more, put it back on the heat. It's going to be fine. It is a little bit fussy, but don't be afraid to do it. Now, how dark you take the caramel is completely up to you. I'm thinking that's pretty good for me. Next in is the cream. And it could seize on you, and it could spit and bubble away. So in goes the cream, and just give it a really good stir to bring it all together. See, mine's seized. No big deal. Just keep stirring. I switched to a wooden spoon because it has a longer handle. Now, it's all come together pretty nicely. It's time to put in the butter. So, one piece at a time and stir it in. Once all the butter is in, sprinkle in some salt. Hey, Jules.
Hello, my timing is good. Hello, friends.
So this is a hot milk cake.
Okay.
Oh, it's interesting. It's got an interesting texture, or it looks like it has an interesting texture. And I made so I'm going to taste it first. But I also made a caramel sauce
Ooh.
because it's just a vanilla cake, and I think it could probably.
It's interesting because it's got a similar texture to things that you'd make with a coconut milk. But like it's kind of a very creamy looking.
Mm-hmm.
Even the way it kind of bubbled on top.
Yeah,
And it's got that same kind of spongy.
very spongy. Yeah.
Without the coconut, which for
Without
you
the
is
coconut.
great.
And it poured in almost like you were pouring milk into the pan. Like it was the batter was that thin. Now I've never had one before. I know that I've never had one before. Have you?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
But it's really good just like it is. But, caramel sauce.
Caramel sauce. Salted caramel sauce. Would you like some?
Yes, please.
Maybe a little bit.
How come you got that much and I got that much? I'll get more later.
There's always more.
I'm just going to start with the caramel. Nice job.
That really brings it alive. Now,
You can't say anything because you keep eating your cake?
oh yeah.
I would eat it again.
Yeah, I'm
I'm going to eat that much more, apparently.
that whole pan will be gone in no time at all. So, push your boundaries, explore new things, try recipes that you've never had before, and see whether you like them, and then just see where you would take it. Because I've thought of all sorts of places that I would take this.
Well, I mean, you won't use coconut milk, but I might.
You might, yeah. And you could put some spicing in it because all it has is vanilla, or you could put a different type of
yeah.
topping on it, or you could,
Throw some chocolate chips in.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.